Hi, thanks for joining me in this hip opening class. It's just going to be a 30-minute, more of a slower paced class. There will be option for vinyasa flow if you'd like to take them. I myself would be modifying, so just listen to your body. So let's do a little grounding meditation before we begin. So closing your eyes, allowing yourself to become present, still, and aware. Let's take a deep breath in, letting it go with a long, audible sigh out of the mouth. Closing your eyes is a cue to go within and greet yourself as you are right now on your mat. Noticing how your breath feels. Feeling the lightness of the inhales and the grounding energy of the exhales. Notice how just this simple act of becoming aware and still can bring you to a sense of peace. And calming down the fluctuations of the mind, bringing all of you into this space. You are here physically, so let your energy, your mind, your thoughts, your emotions, let it all catch up and be present with you here as well. On your next inhale breath, lifting your arms all the way up toward the sky, gazing up at your thumbs. Bring the palms together as you exhale, bring your hands down to the heart. Inhale again, reaching all the way up, looking up. Exhale, bringing your hands down to the heart. One more time, reaching up. This time we'll take it into a twist. So inhale to reach. Exhale, twist over to the right side. We'll place the right hand behind you, guiding that shoulder back. Inhale, breath brings you right back to center, and exhale takes you over to the other side. Releasing the twist, arms reach up again, bring the palms together, and bring your hands down to the heart. We'll slide your hands down to your knees, getting grounded through the sit bones. So as you move the body around, one side wants to lift, so we're gonna get that grounding energy through both sides. Holding onto the knees and just starting to move the torso around. You can close your eyes here and just let your breath guide the movements. Again, feeling that grounding energy through the seat, but also feeling the articulation of all your vertebrae as you move the body around. Maybe noticing how the low back feels, the hips. We'll switch directions, going the opposite way. And start to slow down the circles, come right back up to a neutral spine, and we'll head over to tabletop position. So moving into tabletop, spreading your fingers really wide. So you want to be pressing into the base of the fingers and the thumbs, not into the wrist creases here. As you press into the base of the fingers, we'll do the opposite for contrast by collapsing in the body. So letting the belly relax, letting the shoulders relax. And then lifting up through the shoulders, pulling in that lower abdomen to really provide some support for that low back. We're flattening the low back, creating a stable table here. Now we'll begin our cat-cows. Inhale, lower the belly, lift the chin, lift the tail. Exhale, pull the navel in, rounding into your cat pose. And moving at the pace of your breath. Again, letting your breath guide the movement. Just warming up the spine, the hips, the shoulders. And when we work with the flexibility of the hips, we have 360 degrees of area that we can work with. Everything surrounding the hip socket. Let's do one more round here, and then as you exhale, bring the hips all the way down to the heels. We'll start some circles with the hips. So drawing circles with the hips, going in one direction a few times. Notice the sensation in the outside of the hips. Maybe bending the elbows, getting the spine involved. And then switch directions, go the opposite way. And then release that and come right back to tabletop position. Resetting that stable table, so not collapsing. Now we're lifting up, creating that strong base. Inhale, send the right leg back. We're squaring the hips, foot is flexed. Lift the heel, lift the chin, creating an arc in the front of the body. Inhale here, exhale, point the toes, bend the knee, pull it up toward your nose as you round through the shoulders. Inhale, send it back, kick through the heel. Exhale, pull it forward. Inhale, send it back. This time we're bringing it forward into a low lunge. So bring the foot forward, bring your hands to your hips, guiding the hips forward as you draw the shoulders back. Right hip is moving back, left one's moving forward to have them squared. Arms reach up and shoulders relax down. Bring awareness to the front of the left thigh. The hip flexors on the left side. Inhale here, exhale, twist to the right. Still drawing that right hip back. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the right. One more time, we'll hold in that twist position. Inhale, exhale to twist. Lean the left fingers forward, cross the elbow to the knee. So we'll bring the palms together, maintaining that stable base there, and then twist your heart to meet the hands. If you want to tuck the toes on the back leg, lifting that knee up off the floor, really engage the thigh. Just an option here. I'm going to lower mine down for modification. One more breath. Gently untwist, arms reach up, rock the hips back, flexing the right toes. Rock it forward again, plant the hands, step all the way back to downward facing dog. We'll just kind of walk into this dog here. So lifting and lowering the heels, bending and straightening the knees, and then settling in for a breath. Lift the heels, round the body like a wave into plank pose. Exhale, round the body back into downward facing dog. Taking this 2 more times. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. One more time at the pace of your own breath. Just creating some strength in the body. And we'll lower the knees to the floor again, taking that all to the left side. So extend through the left heel. Hips are balanced. Lift that leg, lifting the chin, point the toes, exhale, bring the knee in toward your nose. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward, round through the shoulder blades. One more time, inhale, back. Then bring that foot all the way forward, hands to your hips. Sink into that front knee as you draw the left hip back. Arms reach all the way up. So the crown of the head moving toward the sky, the hips are moving forward and down, so getting nice and heavy through the hips. Big breath in here, exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to center, twist to the left again. One more time, inhale, center, pause in that twist to the left. Reach the right fingertips forward as far as you can, cross the elbow to the knee. Make that connection of the palms and the fingertips as you twist the heart to the hands. If you engage that back thigh, lifting the knee, go ahead and do that on this side for one more breath. Exhale, lower the knee if it's lifted. Arms reach up again, little arch in the back, and then rock the hips back. Moving back into your downward dog, so rock the hips forward, plant the hands, step the left leg back. Either pause here for a couple of moments or inhale plank, exhale downward dog 2 more times. If Chaturanga Dandasana is in your practice, go ahead and move through a flow if you'd like. All right, from downward facing dog, walk your feet forward to meet your hands. Sliding your hands up to your shins, bring the heart forward. Inhale, exhale, release. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, release, rising all the way up, maybe a little back bend at the top. And bring the hands down to the heart. We'll find Tadasana, so mountain pose, just pausing with your feet about hip distance apart. Roll the shoulders back and down. Eyes float closed. Getting grounded through the feet, but nice and tall through the crown of the head. Moving into our Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Step the right foot back. Square the hips forward, bend into the left knee as you really engage that back thigh, pressing through the right heel. Square the hips forward, arms reach up, and shoulders relax down from the ears. If you want to deepen this pose, bring the palms together, look up at your thumbs, and take a deeper bend of the left knee. Not forgetting about that right thigh. We're still engaging and pressing through the heel. Hands float down to your hips, pivot on the back toes to lift the heel. Bring the right knee up toward your heart, keeping your hips balanced. Flex the foot, bend your standing leg, and place the ankle on the left thigh. So take a seat here. You can go as deep as you want, or you can stay standing, depending on how your standing knee feels. So getting into the outside of the hips here. All right, standing all the way up again and place that foot back down. Let's take it to the other side. Step back with the left. Bend into the front knee, strong through that back leg. Press through the heel. Arms float all the way up. Shoulders release down. Nice fluid breath, so we're never holding our breath in yoga, hopefully. All right, if you want to take it deeper, look up at the thumbs, bend into that right knee just a little bit deeper, engage the left thigh. And release, hands to your hips, pivot on the back toes, lean forward, left knee up comes up toward the heart, flex the foot, place it on the right thigh as you take a seat. One more breath. Release that, both feet on the floor, and pause in Tadasana. We'll take a sideways stance on your mat, turning all toes to face forward first. Forward meaning facing this way. And then we'll pivot the right toes to face the front of the mat. Pivot on the back foot so that the toes are a little bit more forward than the heel. Feet are on a balancing beam here. Feet are going toward each other energetically. So we're creating this light and strong pelvic floor by pulling in, fingertips extending out. So again, not forgetting about this back thigh. We're engaging the thigh and pressing down through that heel. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Pivot that front palm up, reach back for Exalted Warrior. And back to Warrior 2. Bring your hands to the hip creases, so not your waist, but lower to the hip creases. Straighten the front leg. So the front thigh is an external rotation. The back thigh is an internal rotation. As we tilt the pelvis coming into Trikonasana, if you have a block, you can go ahead and use that if you'd like. Reaching the arms out. Big breath in here. Exhale to lean, and then lower that bottom hand down. Rotate the top rib cage back as you lift those top fingers up toward the sky. So press into the base of that front big toe for balance, since that front thigh is externally rotated here out of the hip socket. Looking down at your foot, bend that knee to come out into Warrior 2, and then directly again into Exalted. Back to Warrior 2, hands at your hips, straighten the front leg, and let's just pivot all the way over to the other side. So taking your time here, setting up your feet, left toes facing forward, back heel pivots back, so your foot is at an angle. Really strong through this back thigh. Bend into the knee, pull the feet energetically toward each other, and extend the fingers out. So two opposing energy channels here, pulling in from the bottom and extending out through the fingers. Exalted warrior, pull that palm up, reach back behind you, breathe into your rib cage here, and back to center. Inhale to lengthen. We'll bring your hands to the hip creases again to feel the pelvis tilt. So feel that tilting over, press into the base of that big toe, arms reach, lean and lengthen, and then release down. Rotate the rib cage back and reach the fingertips up. Look down at your front foot, bend that knee, come back through warrior two directly into exalted. And release. Hands at your hips, straighten the legs. Now we're turning the toes out and the heels in for goddess pose, Devyasana. So as you lower down, we don't want to collapse in the knees, we're drawing them back, pressing into the balls of the feet and the heels to lift the arches. You can even lift the toes a little bit to adjust. Lower belly draws in so the tailbone moves down behind you. Inhale, straighten the legs, arms reach. Exhale, bend your elbows, let them float back behind you. Inhale, lifting up, straighten the legs. Exhale, lowering down. One more time, lifting up. As you lower down, now we're gonna release the arms out to the sides, bend your elbows. Wiggle the fingers, it makes it easier. Just kidding. All right, maybe lifting the heels. And release down. Let's rise all the way up and heel toe your way all the way back in. Finding Tadasana at the top of your mat, we're going into our pigeon series. Big breath in, big sigh out. Soften the knees, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Plant the hands, step back to plank pose. Option for a flow if you'd like. Or just hold steady here, engaging the thighs, pressing up through the shoulders. One more breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send that right leg straight up and back, stack the hips. Inhale, breath, exhale, bring it forward. Place the foot, place the knee. Knee goes behind the right wrist. We'll gently set that left leg back a little bit so you can get into the top of the thigh, the hip flexors. 2 full breaths here, breathing into the front of the body. Maintaining that length, this open space through the front. As you lower all the way down to your elbows or even further, and see if you can find that balance between left side and right side. See if you can find some ease or some comfort, softening where you don't need to engage, releasing effort. Couple more breaths here. Next, exhale, lift up onto your hands. We'll tuck the left toes behind you. Send the right leg straight back and then stack the hips, 3-legged dog, and place that foot back down. You can move through a flow if you'd like, or modification, stay right here or lift into plank for a little bit of strengthening throughout the whole body. Back to downward dog, lift the left leg high, stack the hips. Bring the knee all the way forward, pressing up through the shoulders and gently, mindfully place it down. Same thing here, we'll tuck the back toes, drawing that right knee back, squaring the body forward. Couple of deep breaths as you breathe into this front space. Keeping that front space open as you lower all the way down onto your elbows or deeper. And we'll do that same practice here. Body scan. Where can you soften? Where can you release? Where can you find ease in the body? Just a couple more breaths. Gently lifting up onto your hands, tuck the back toes, lift up into 3-legged dog, sending the hips really high. and place that foot back down. We'll hold in downward dog. One big breath in through the nose. As you exhale with a sigh out of the mouth, come into child's pose. So separate the knees to a comfortable distance. Lower the hips to the heels. Lower the forehead to the floor. We'll take a couple of breaths here. Lifting the body up, we'll come down to a seated position. All right, sending that left leg out, drawing the right one in. Flexing the foot, getting nice and tight through this thigh. So we're engaging and pulling up. We'll twist over toward the leg and come down into a forward fold. Little working breath here. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to release. If that felt good, you can do another one. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, release down. And without lifting your body out of your full forward fold, let's walk it through center. So now we're coming back to a centered position where the knees are on either side of us and we draw this invisible line right out in front of you. Inhale to lengthen again, exhale, release. What is that engaged leg doing? Nice and flexed. Both sit bones are grounded. And we'll lift all the way up. And then we'll just switch sides. So extend the right one out. Draw the left one in, and we'll turn to face again. So as you turn and twist out the solar plexus, sometimes this knee wants to come with you. So we're gonna get grounded and leave it where it is. Twisting, lower down, inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. One more time, when we're working breath, lifting, lengthen, bring the heart forward, and release. What that does, it gets nice into this lower back upper hip area on the side of the bent knee. It's where a lot of us hold some tension in the low back. Usually it's asymmetrical, sometimes it's pretty even. All right, walk yourself back through center. This leg is still activated. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to lower. All right, release that. Take the soles of the feet together. First, we'll bring them as close to the body as is comfortable. If your elbows are long enough and you can reach, you can gently press your thighs down, getting a deeper opening here through the groin, through the adductors, and we'll lean forward. So in this version, we're not rounding, we're just bringing the heart forward. And what that does, it gives it less of an opening through the back and deeper through the hips here. One more breath. Let's stay here for another breath. Let's take a couple. All right, gently release. Come up out of the forward fold. We'll send the feet forward so now you have a wider diamond shape. And same thing here, we're gonna come forward with a straight spine and then we're gonna round. So go ahead and tuck the chin to the chest, rounding forward. Wherever you land is perfect. Now we're getting more into the outside of the hips and through the back. And if you're not feeling it in those areas, don't worry. We're all made differently. And every day we might feel a pose a little bit different. Different sensations, different areas. It's all about that personal awareness and not judgment. 2 more breaths here. Use the strength of your arms, so fingertips right in the center of that diamond shape, lift all the way back up. And then we'll pick the knees up, place the feet on the floor. We're gonna lower all the way down to your back. So draw the knees into your chest as you lower down. Cup the knees with your hands, left on left, right on right, and we'll do a couple of circles. Moving in one direction, and then the opposite direction, just massaging the low back. This is really nice to do at the end of the day if you have any low back tension or tightness. All right, soles of the feet together on the floor, knees go off to the side, and you can play with the distance of the heels to your body in order to find comfort. Let the arms relax out to the sides, just trusting in the support of the earth. Releasing any tension and stagnant energy from the hips. And when we do these hip openers, we have a lot of trust, trusting that we're releasing that which doesn't serve us any longer and creating space for new emotions, new habits, new memories, things that serve us better. But first we have to clear out the junk drawer. 2 more breaths here. All right, very slowly start to bring your knees back to center. And then walk your feet a little wider than hip distance apart, and we'll just windshield wiper the knees back and forth. So both to the left, both to the right, a couple of times to each side. And then walk your feet a little closer together, bring the knees into your chest for a big squeeze, and we'll roll them over to the right side, extending the left arm out on the floor. Bring the knees back up to center. Take them directly over to the other side. Ending our practice with a reclined twist helps to restore equilibrium to our nervous system in order for our preparation for Shavasana. So accessing our rest response. We'll bring the knees back up to center. Extend everything, just shaking it out, and then bring your knees in for a big I love you squeeze. Really mean it. Scrunch everything up, and then send the feet forward for Shavasana. Arms down by your sides. Take a deep breath in. Release it with a big sigh. And I will guide you out when it's time. This is your time to fully relax, surrendering into the earth, letting everything go physically, emotionally, energetically. Trusting that you are being held and that all is well. Taking a deeper breath. Slowly invite some small movements, wiggling your toes, your fingers, gently rolling your head from side to side. And extend your arms for a long stretch as you bend your knees. And gently roll over to your favorite side for a couple of breaths. You can cradle your head with your bottom arm, placing your top arm with your fingertips on the floor in front of you. And gently use the strength of your arms to lift yourself back to a comfortable seat. Keeping your eyes closed for a few more moments, just staying within that peaceful feeling that you have created. Knowing that this is always there, it's always within you, and you can access it at any time. And just honoring yourself for showing up on your mat, taking this time out of your day to take care of you, body, mind, and spirit. And we'll seal in our practice with the sacred sound of Om, bringing your hands together at your heart. Deep breath in. Om. Thank you for joining me today. From my heart to yours, namaste.